All right, so in our last video, we talked about making a connection from our Mac to the panel so that we could, in fact, use our Mac on the panel. And USB Type-C is a great way to do that. As we talked about, we get video, sound, touch, and in the case of a MacBook Air, we also get power. So one cable gives us all of that. And so the next thing we need to do is we simply need to change the display settings, because you can see that on my Mac, I've got my desktop, I've got my toolbar, I've got my icons, but I'm not seeing those up here. And the reason for that is the display settings on the Mac are not by default set up to mirror whatever's on this screen to this screen. We actually have to tell the Mac, hey, I want to mirror what's going on here and see the same thing up here. So here's how we make that happen. So on the Mac, there are a couple ways to do this. The way that I like to do it is I like to go down to the toolbar, choose my settings or system preferences button, give that a click, and then my system preferences window opens. I'm going to go over here to displays. It's over here in the lower left-hand corner. For me, it might be in a different place for you, but here it is, displays. I'm going to give that a click. And it's going to give me a window that gives me access to my displays, whatever displays I have essentially connected to this Mac. At the very bottom, I actually have a display settings button here in this window. So I'm going to give that a click. And now it's going to give me a window that allows me to choose how I want to be displayed up here. Now, the easiest way to make it happen is to choose mirroring. That way, you see exactly what's happening here, up here, and touch will also work accordingly. So you can touch things from your Mac desktop on the screen. So the choice I'm going to make here is I'm going to go up to the top of this window where it says Use As, and then it says Main Display. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that menu down by clicking it. And you can see I have two choices here. I have Extend Display, or Extended Display rather, and I also have Mirror, in this case Mirror for Newline, because that's what my screen is, right? So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Mirror option, is what I'm going to do. And then give that a click. Oh, and look at what happened. There. Now it's mirroring what I have on my Mac screen up here onto the panel. Okay, that's fantastic. Now, the next thing I need to do though, in order to make things look, the way that I need them to look, because you can see I got a lot of workspace here, that's great, but things are a little small. They're scaled for high resolution, therefore everything's gonna be kind of small, but we can adjust that. That's where these boxes here up on the screen come into play. And that's what allows us to choose the scaling. And you just need to experiment with it. Just touch the boxes and kind of see which one looks best for you. I'm going to choose the second one from the left. That guy right there. Yeah, see, that looks pretty good to me. See, that made things significantly larger. I still have a pretty good amount of workspace, but I can actually see what I'm doing. And as I just demonstrated, touch works great. So I'm just going to touch another box here just to show you. Yeah, that touch works fine. So we can make the adjustments. Once we get to this point, we can actually make the adjustments right here on the Q series screen. And then once I feel good about that, I'm going to go ahead and touch done. And I'm going to close the displays window with the X right there. And there we go. So now I have my desktop. I've verified that I am being powered. We talked about in the last video. I can see it right here. The charge symbol is lit up there. So I know that everything is working the way that I need it to. So I've got video, I'll have sound, touch, and power using one USB Type-C cable, and then adjusting the display settings so I'm mirroring the screen onto my Q series is the easiest way to make it happen. And that is how we connect a Mac and how we adjust the display settings to get it to look the way we need it to look.